But I thought I might maybe just touch on, parts around compliance, security data, but also just generally about automation and the fear that people have that once you start to be able to put these systems in place and automate processes, that suddenly they're losing control of their business, and that they're experiencing challenges, again, regarding these kinds of areas. Could you just touch on those a little and maybe allay any fears of the leaders on call today that they shouldn't be concerned necessarily about those challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think part of that conversation is asking people to step back and take your hands off things is really, it's scary. I get that. But actually, it's the opposite. When you automate things, you have a consistency to what's happening. You understand the rules behind the automation, and it actually gives you more control because you've got confidence in those automation steps doing what they need to do to actually then allow you to analyze what's happening. So, a great example for me in automation is credit limits. You decide you want to have some credit limits in place. You don't need people to be involved in that. If you've decided you've got $1 million credit limit, then the order doesn't go out, but it can be routed to somebody who can override that decision as part of the automation. And if there's a credible reason, so I know some companies deal with stock that's on the coming in from overseas on the containers. It's pre-purchased, so it sits in the credit limit, hasn't been paid. The customer's not due to pay for 6 months. So there are allowances in the models that can handle that. But I think that's a good example of you still have control, you still have visibility of what's going in the business. And again, I would go back and say, for me, the experience I see out there and what I've seen personally is actually more control. By having the right automation in the right places, having trust and confidence in the processes that are being delivered allows you to actually walk away and just, maybe get dashboard reports. And so a lot of the CEOs or MDs in these organizations, my experience, actually step away from the day-to-day transactional side of the business and focus on running the business itself.